So you have a sloped yard, and every year the erosion gets worse. So you're thinking about putting in some plants, turning a space like this into a beautiful garden area. You can do it. It might be easier than you think. Join me today as I discuss how to shape a slope into a garden. Hi, I'm Gardener Scott, and I have a great vision of turning this bare hillside into that beautiful garden space. But this slope is getting in the way. From the top to the bottom, it's a difference of 5 feet. Some areas it's steep, other areas it's shallow, and in some areas it's flat. Putting all of those pieces together, I need to figure out how to put in vegetable beds and perennial plants and berries and fruit trees and beehives. The uneven ground makes that difficult. But with just a few simple steps, I can turn this area into all of those things I want. I want this project to be as little labor as possible. I know I'm going to have to do some digging. I'm going to have to do some building. I'm going to have to shape this hillside. But I don't have to do it all. I've done a pretty good survey of this area, and pretty much everything from this tree to the fence is pretty flat. And that's a good thing when it comes to gardening. Very little erosion. I can put in just about any plants I want in this area. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Right here, I think this will be a berry patch. And I've got this tree. I might put in some fruit bushes back here. This area is easy. I'm not going to have to worry about anything. It's this hillside that really requires the most work. The ground around this fruit tree is flat at the base of the tree, but just about 5 feet away, the hill is about 16 inches higher. So I'm going to have to deal with at least that 16 inches of difference in the ground there to the ground there. There are some good options. Let me give you some ideas. I could use a practice from permaculture using swales and berms. It can be very effective on a hillside, one without a tremendously steep slope. And in a curved area like this, it actually might be a primary consideration. The idea is that we want to stop the erosion down the hill. So we're going to dig essentially a trench. That's what the swale part is. And then we'll take the soil and we'll put it on the downhill side. We do this following the curve of the slope. So the swale can be curved and the berm can be curved. And we continue digging the swale and building up the berm all the way around this hill. Now, it is a little more complicated than this because we want this swale to be even, to be level across the entire hillside. We'll take the soil and build this berm so that it stays level and follows the contour of the slope. Using swales and berms to follow the contours, the shape of the hill, can actually look really good. And this can be an ideal method for an area that you want to landscape. The idea is that as the water flows down the hill, it's captured in the swale. The berm keeps it from eroding the hill. And as long as you're putting appropriate plants on the upside and the downside of this slope, it's going to work well. You're collecting water that can be beneficial for plants on both sides. But I don't really want this area to be landscaped with grasses and bushes and flowers in this whole hillside. I want it to mostly be a vegetable garden. And so the methods for doing that are going to be different. I want a garden with raised beds on this upper part and on this middle part. I like raised beds. I like raised beds so much, I wrote a book about raised beds. So it makes perfect sense that that's going to be my primary method for vegetable gardening. One of the nice things about raised beds is that raised beds can actually be built to hold back the hillside, to stop that erosion, in a similar way as the berm is stopping the movement of the water and the erosion of the hill. I can use raised beds to do the same thing. And I've done a cutout here to give you an idea of what that could look like. If I dig out some of the soil in this middle layer and either use it to fill in the slope on the bottom or to help fill in the top at the slope, I can create a relatively level space in the middle of the garden. If I take a raised bed and put it up against this vertical edge of soil that I've dug, this raised bed now helps hold back the hillside. This becomes a terrace, and when I fill the bed with soil, it is going to hold back the hill and stop erosion. Imagine that this is a raised bed that might only be 1.5 feet high. There's still a pretty good slope here. But if I do a taller bed, maybe one that's 3 feet high, that now gives me lots of options where I can dig out the slope on the back side, move it to the base of this slope, and the raised bed is holding all of the soil and keeping it from eroding. We often think of raised beds as needing to be 4 feet wide and 8 feet long, but we can make a raised bed any size we want. And so I already know that this slope rises to about 16 inches high, right about here. So if I just dig down and move some of that soil to the edge, I could do a raised bed right here that might only be 2 feet wide or 3 feet wide, and it achieves the same effect of terracing this slope. I'm planning to have 3 levels, the upper, the middle, and the lower. And I could also do raised beds on this level. So maybe a 1 or 2 foot wide raised bed that runs the length of this hill at the bottom, and the same in the middle. But I don't need that many raised beds. I do still want to put in some of those other plants in this lower section, and I don't need a raised bed to do it. So the bottom of this terraced hillside, I think could look better with a retaining wall. The idea being putting a wall, in this case about 16 to 20 inches high, that runs the same way that a berm would run. And a great way to do that is with stone blocks. So if I just build a low stone wall along this whole area, I would need to dig out some of this slope just to ensure it's flat, but it does a great job of holding back the middle layer. I can still plant all the way up to the edge of this wall. I can even sit on the wall or stand on the wall to harvest fruit from the trees. I like retaining walls a lot, and not just a straight wall, but one that adds a decorative component to my garden. Instead of raised beds, I can also have a stone retaining wall holding back the soil on this upper side. So now from an aesthetic perception, I have a lower wall and an upper wall for these different levels. One of the cons of raised beds is that they deteriorate in time if they're built out of wood and even metal. I like the idea of using stone, an essentially permanent way to terrace this backyard and create a garden space. So I could use stone raised beds which can end up being quite pricey. Or I can just use the concrete block for a wall in this area. And then, assuming that that wall is about right here, this gives me plenty of space for a 4 by 8 foot bed here, a 4 by 8 foot bed here, a 4 by 8 foot bed here, and all the way down the row. Against the fence, I can grow perennials. I can grow plants all the way up to that stone wall. That's the way I'm leaning in developing the design of how I'm going to shape this slope. I also have to anticipate how I'm going to get from one level to the next. Through the gate on that end, I'll have steps going down the hillside, but here I'm not planning to put steps. And I need to figure out how to get from this upper layer to the middle layer to the bottom layer without too much difficulty. And this hillside not only drops off in that direction, but it drops off in this direction. This is a big reason why I'm leaning towards the retaining wall idea, because I can put a retaining wall that slopes around this hillside. And then, because I've got the beds in the top part and the beds in the middle part, I can just have a path that gradually slopes down towards the retaining wall, and then that angle of the path drops a little bit into this middle layer. I can push a wheelbarrow, a garden cart, and walk easily from the gate all the way down to the bottom if I anticipate using this slope and a wall for transportation. It's important that I spend a lot of time thinking about all this digging and whether I'm going to put the soil on the bottom side or put the soil on the top side, because this whole project is going to be done by hand, digging with a shovel. We are surrounded by other houses and trees, so there is no possibility of bringing in heavy machinery to shape this hill for me. But it does allow me a lot of flexibility, because while I can come up with my plan ahead of time and know where I'm going to dig and the basic shape of the wall and the beds, because I have to do it myself, one shovel at a time, I can modify it however I want. And if what I thought was going to be 4 feet wide ends up being 6 feet wide, that's okay. I don't have to be so precise during this planning phase that I need to follow it exactly during the execution phase. So I'm going to have fun doing some digging and shaping as I dig, and that will help me really see that vision come to fruition. And the beds will go in, and the plants will go in. And that's where we'll pick up this journey through this series of videos on gardening on a slope. If you want to see what we're doing with this series, go ahead and watch one of these videos. I'm Gardener Scott. Enjoy gardening.